Welcome back to another What's Sold Weekend Edition video, and I guess you could say a little mail opening and update video. That's what I've been doing on these videos. So usually I'm giving you updates on my dog Max, and who's been sick, and if you're new here, and opening viewer mail if I have any, and then of course doing what sold on eBay from Friday until Monday when I'm filming this. So no new updates yet as far as Max goes. The end of the week, he does go for more blood work. As I mentioned in a previous video, he has started a new medication and they wanted to wait 2 weeks before retesting him again. So that's what's going on with him. He seems to be doing okay. So let's hope the blood work reflects that. He is really up to some of his old tricks that he hasn't done in a while. So it's really kind of funny to see. So I'm really hoping that we have some good results this time. My mom, she's doing okay. Just finally got her one surgery rescheduled. That won't be until later on in the summer, early fall. So yeah, and now for viewer mail, I did get one package this week from Hope Collectibles. So let's open it and see. Let's see what's in it. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July weekend. I did not do a whole lot of sourcing. There wasn't a whole lot going on. I did a little bit, however. I did do a little bit. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you see Saturday, a local friend reached out and told me about a deal I couldn't refuse. So I went and bought some Longaberger. But aside from that, didn't do a whole lot. Went, took my usual flea market, my usual Sunday flea market trip. And yeah, it was a pretty low-key weekend. But it was fun. It was fun. My youngest daughter had her boyfriend over for the weekend, and we had some fireworks and did some grilling and stuff like that. We had a really good time. So yeah. Oh, Doug the Pug, the king of pop culture. I love Doug the Pug. I love pugs. You guys know that. And Bernie does go for his checkup tomorrow, so hopefully everything is good with him. I heard that Doug the Pug has a calendar, but I didn't know about the book. I'm so excited to go through this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, card is taped on here. Let's see here. Oh, that's a really cute little card. All right. From Natalie. It was from Natalie. Natalie, thank you so much for your gift. I will read this off camera, but thank you so much. I love to read, number one. I don't have as much time for it as I would like, but I do try to read at bedtime every night, sometimes a little bit in the morning. So I'm definitely going to look through this book. Pugs are literally the cutest dogs in the world. I'm sorry for everyone who has other breeds, but come on. Oh, man. And he reminds me a lot of my Bernie. Bernie makes a lot of these same faces. On my way to steal your girl. I could literally just look at pugs like all day long. They are just so freaking adorable. Thank you so much, Natalie. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna have fun looking through this book. And so will my oldest daughter, Jordan. She'll look through this. She has Crumb, who is also a pug. So yeah, we will definitely have fun looking through this book. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. That brought a smile to my face. So thank you. Okay, so and I will, like I said, I will read that off camera. But let's get into what sold, guys. I know I haven't been getting into the actual what sold until about the 5-minute mark of my videos lately. So you guys can always skip ahead if you don't want to hear me chatting. Anyway, let's get into it. First thing that sold is 7 Falstaff hibiscus salad forks. These sold for $24.99 plus shipping. I've had these for a little while. Then I sold an antique Majolica maple leaf cake stand. This was, I feel like this was a recent rummage sale find. But recent now could be anywhere from like the fall until the spring. I don't even know. It's been really blurring together real bad. You know, as a matter of fact, let me see. Okay, I did list this. I listed this in April. So yes, I'm sure it came from a spring rummage sale. Anyway, it sold on best offer of $29.99 plus shipping. It did have some issues that I didn't realize at the time when I picked it up until I really looked it over later, and that happens. That happens sometimes. Next is an Ace Butte Mystic Romance eyeshadow palette. This sold for $14 with free shipping. Then I sold 4 vintage KLM Rhinebend Distilleries houses. So if you remember last spring, I picked up a whole lot of these at a rummage sale. And some of them were duplicates. So I listed the individual ones, and normally I would do multi-quantity, except for the fact that, you know, these are like hand painted and they might have a little bit of discrepancy in the way they look, even if they are the same number, because these bottle houses are all numbered. So I didn't want to do, and also there's, you know, some of them still had like a little piece of the cork, or some of them didn't. So I didn't want to do multi-quantity. So I listed all of the single ones, and I sold a lot of them, and I put the duplicates to the side, and they sat there. And I said, well, you know what? I don't even now remember which ones I sold, which ones I haven't sold. And I could go look and this and that. But I said, you know what? I'm lotting them all together. I already made my money back on what I paid for the lot of them to begin with. So I lotted these 4 together, and they sold pretty darn quick for $49.99 plus shipping. They were sitting on a table I was trying to clear off. I mentioned that, I think last week I had, which one of my local friends mentioned to me. He heard me say that. And he actually sent me a text today, and he was like, yep, that's what I do. When things are in my way, I list them. And so, yeah, I was trying to clear this table off, and these houses were sitting there. So yeah, it's crazy when you list your items, they actually sell. Oh boy. Not that I don't know that. I just don't always have time. Okay, next is another, every week I have this Lemaire, whatever it is. But I think I only have one left now. I have sold all of that. So this is a regenerating serum, sold for $199.99 plus shipping. And I have 1 left. Then I sold the Caswell Massey Sandalwood Cologne. This was in my haul 2 videos ago. This sold for $60 plus shipping. Next, I sold 4 items to the same buyer. This stuff all went international. I sold a Coach Soho Lynn Purple handbag. Recent listing, recent pickup. This sold for $49.99 plus shipping. I also sold a vintage Pyrex turquoise snowflake covered casserole. This sold for $60 plus shipping. I don't need to keep saying that. You guys know the plus shipping. And it looks like international is actually combining now, which is a really good thing. And I'm not sure if this was a viewer purchase or not, so let me know. Sometimes I wonder when people make like multiple purchases, but I'm not really sure. Next, the buyer also purchased this Patricia Nash Paris kimono handbag. This sold for $145. And lastly, this buyer purchased, let me get back here. Lastly, this buyer purchased this Falstaff Yorktown sled server, and this was new in the box. It sold for $39.99 plus shipping. Saying it anyway. So I will say though that the international shipping, even though they did combine the items for the buyer, they definitely underestimated. And for those of you who don't sell, you'll probably have no clue what I'm talking about. But for those of you who do sell, these items all shipped together needed to go in an oversized box just so they would be protected. I mean, we have the Pyrex, which is glass. We have the Yorktown, which is, you know, a pottery, even though it is new in the box. And then the two bags. So they ended up shipping in an oversized box, which eBay's global shipping, or whatever they call it now, does not calculate. They combine the shipping with the size of the original box, not factoring in that you can't fit all these items in that box, you know? So I may have had like a 16-12 by 8 box for the one item, and they don't realize that where are you going to put the other items? You have to use a larger box. And then when you do that, you get the dimensional weight fees and everything else. So I think it was a huge difference. So I ended up shipping this stuff FedEx because it was more of what was paid. Otherwise I would have lost out on like $30 through the way eBay calculated it. So anyway, like I said, if you guys don't sell, you're gonna have no clue what the heck I'm talking about. Anyway, moving on. Next is a Sultana Christmas Needlecraft Kit. This sold for $25 plus shipping. Then I sold a Fenton Marigold Autumn Carnival Glass Lily Water Lily basket. This sold for $39.99 plus shipping. This went to a viewer, Anna. So Anna, thank you very much. Then I sold 2 Fiesta Ware salt and pepper shakers. These sold for $14.99 plus shipping. Then I sold 3 Reed & Barton stainless country French dinner forks. These sold for $49.99 plus shipping. Then Lori's one of my best buyers. What can I say? Lori is she's always grabbing the Lenox, the art glass. You know, she is a repeat buyer and a viewer. And Lori purchased these Fenton tulip votive candle holders. So thank you very much for your purchase, Lori. I hope you love these. I think they're beautiful, but I love the Fenton glass. I just do. Next is a pair of Maverick vintage 1970s denim shorts. These sold on a best offer of $35 plus shipping. Then I sold this 2004 Hallmark Keepsake Kids Countdown to Christmas Advent Calendar. I have 2 of these. This is the first one to sell, and it sold for $55 on best offer plus shipping. I purchased these from a local contact that I have. Then I sold a pair of Earth Leather Fisherman Sandals. These sold for $25 plus shipping. And then I sold a vintage JJ Jonette Halloween fall pin, apples and pumpkins, and this sold for $19.99 plus shipping. Starting to see some fall items. People are going to start shopping for fall already. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy that we're like almost halfway through July. This season is just going way too fast for me. Next is a J. Crew classic fit shirt in the greenhouse floral print. This sold for $38 plus shipping. I picked this up at a rummage sale last fall. Then to a viewer, Sue. Sue purchased this Women's United by Blue chambray peasant top for $30 plus shipping. And she also purchased this United by Blue pocket tee, and that sold for $20 plus shipping. So thank you, Sue, for your purchases. I appreciate it. Next, I sold this pair of oboes, Campster women's sandals. These sold on best offer of $41 plus shipping. These were a Goodwill pickup a couple months back. And then these were also in a recent video. These Keds Kate Spade women's glitter shoes. These sold for $49.99 plus shipping. Next is a lot of 2 Disney Parks coffee mugs, Mickey and Minnie looking super grumpy in the morning. These sold for $29.99 plus shipping. Another table clear off item. I listed this Times votive candle, Fraser Fir. Wow, does this smell amazing. It smells so good. I mean, you know, Yankee Candle has like that pine scent or that Christmas tree scent or whatever, but this one really tops them. Anyway, this sold for $16.99 with free shipping. It's just a small 2-ounce candle. Then I sold 4 vintage John Buck Staff's blue and white transferware fish and chips plates. These sold for $49.99 plus shipping. These were in a fairly recent rummage sale, I think from back in May. And then I sold a Wedgwood Vera Wang with Love picture frame. This sold for $44.99 plus shipping. I have a couple left of those. Picked those up at a yard sale. They were in one of my spring yard sale videos. Then I sold this Disney Eeyore Woodland Tales coffee mug. This sold for $14.99 plus shipping. That was a recent pickup. Then I sold, oh, that one got, I'm not going to say that one. That one got canceled and relisted. The buyer needed a different size, so never mind. Okay. Next is a vintage Spice of Life Halloween fall themed sweater. This sold for $39.99 plus shipping. That's what I'm saying. People are starting to buy the fall items already. And then I sold this Dowdle 4-pack mini wooden puzzles with the tray. This sold for $49.99 plus shipping. This was a fairly recent yard sale pickup within the past month. And yeah, these little wooden puzzles sell tremendously well, as you can see. $50 for this pack of 4. I think they're 250 pieces each, but they're wood. Yeah, I'm super excited. I have one more pack in like a different theme. All right, then I sold another Barbie from the swap meet back in May. This is the Barbie Fashionistas doll. She sold for $16.99 with free shipping. And as I mentioned before, these go Ground Advantage in a bubble mailer. So it's really not that expensive because these are not boxes. They're just like a plastic kind of vinyl container or whatever. So not a big deal to ship like that. Next, I sold Valerie Parhill set of 2 peppermint candy Christmas trees. These are a QVC item. This older Valerie Parhill stuff sells. It sells well for me. These sold for $35 plus shipping. Then I sold a Longaberger Pottery American Craft Trivet. This sold for $14.99 plus shipping. Next is a vintage Wallace Longaberger pie server. This sold for $25 plus shipping. And the same buyer also actually bought two. She just in two different transactions. And then she also purchased the flat server for $25. So a total of $75 for all three items plus shipping. Then I sold a vintage Pyrex 9-cup coffee pot. This sold for $59.99 plus shipping. Had a little bit different of a lid that you don't see too often. Next is and that was a fairly recent pickup. Next is a Canon black toner cartridge. This sold for $94.99 with free shipping. That was a fairly recent spring pickup as well. I need to take this call. All right, I have to figure out where I was here. One of my mom's doctors called and I needed to take that because she actually has to get in. They want to get her in this week now. So anyhow, let's move on here. I think I was at this sweater. Next is a J. Jill women's open front cardigan. This sold for $39.99 plus shipping. Then, and I'm not sure what happened with that. The buyer made me an offer and I countered and then she declined and bought it for full price. So I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, that's all right. Next is a set of new in pack Cricut markers and pen sets. These came from my auction lot when I bought all of the Anna Griffin stuff. These were in one of the boxes. This lot sold for $27 plus shipping. Next is a Beekman 1802 goat milk foot balm. This sold for $18 with free shipping. This was a recent pickup along with a bunch of other Beekman stuff. I spoke about that last week. Then I sold also from my table. Holy moly. I'm telling you, I can't believe how much has sold from my table clear off. Not all of it, but a lot of it has sold. These 6 Oneida Patrick Henry place spoons, these sold for $14.99 plus shipping. I also listed like all the forks and the teaspoons and stuff like that. And lastly, this Yankee Candle tea light holder just sold for $16.90 plus shipping. So that is going to wrap up this week's What Sold edition. I'm filming this one kind of late on Monday. Sometimes I get them done early. Some days I get them done late. Today's late. And yeah, I'm feeling it. Getting a little loopy. I'm tired. I had a great weekend, but Max has been up a whole lot lately. So not a whole lot of great sleep this weekend. Not solid sleep. Let's put it that way. So I am a little out of it. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up. I hope you've enjoyed this What Sold, and I think I had pretty good sales for it being the 4th of July weekend. I'm very happy with my sales, and yeah, I hope you guys have had great sales as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.